Looking at a pretty cool Rolls Royce today, 1976 Silver Shadow. Got it up in the air. We'll go through the underbody a little bit, then go around the vehicle. They didn't make a lot of these long wheelbase cars. This is the 123-inch wheelbase, 123 and a half actually. I think the other one was about 119, a little shorter. Made about 2,700 of these in the production run. It's a solid car. It's sporting about 44,000 miles. No reason to believe that it's got any more. Body's had good magnetic adhesion. Digital paint meter read really well throughout the entire body. Most of the readings from 12 to 20 mils of thickness. I'm out in Grand Rapids today doing a classic car inspection. Jason Phillips from Appraise. It's a unitized underbody, monocoque, as they call it in Great Britain. But in Great Britain, they dig our 400 turbo hydramatics because that's what they used in these. This car is heavily sound deadened and rust proofed, not in a disconcerting way, not in a way that one would suggest cover up. Again, unitized rails. You can see that one over there just past the transmission. It's got a little dip in it. Hard to evaluate it. I don't think that is supposed to be there, but then again, it's got single exhaust going down the right side. You can see the underbody is pretty stable. It's a V8. We've been sitting here for a couple hours. I've started the car up, run it a few times. It keeps kicking off, but you can see there's no oil on the ground, which is rare for a Harley and rare for a Rolls Royce. Here's the bottom of this L410 V8, and the oil pan looks pretty clean. Doesn't look like it was just freshly wiped down. Just generally fairly clean. Little bit of oil you can see dripping off the crossover exhaust pipe right there, coming from the let me get a good look on it. A little bit of oil coming down from the front main seal, pan seal, but suspension looks largely all original. No heavy deterioration or dry cracking. Rotors seem to be in pretty good shape. I know that your lighting is horrible as you're looking at this, but there you have it. It's a pretty solid underbody. I wasn't able to secure a hoist, and I'm just barely off the ground here, but from what I can tell, I don't see any major collision damage or any major hook marks or pull marks on the rockers, and nothing really suspicious up here in these front rails. I'd love to take you for a ride, but that's not going to happen today. It kind of feels like the low idle circuit of the carburetor's plugged. The car will start up and run. The car's probably been sitting for a lot of its life based on having 44,000 miles showing, and it seems like the idle circuit of the carburetor's plugged up. With a little bit of feathering, we can get the engine to run, but it doesn't want to stay idling on its own. We can keep it running. We can keep it running if I just keep feathering it. Get some fuel in that carburetor past the low idle circuit. Wow, look at that. I got it idling. Okay, strike those first comments. She is idling. Let's take a quick look at this interior, and I'll give you my thoughts. A little bit of piping wear and general leather patina. Color fade in the leather, but a few scratches on that side. But that doesn't look like 144,000 miles, does it? Hairline cracks in the wood, as you quite often see in an old Rolls Royce. And the wear on those pedals, that doesn't look too bad. Clock works, door buzzer works. went through all the options on the car, and power windows are really quiet. All the windows in the car are tinted. Back ones obviously are raising a little slow. I got one courtesy light working out of the 4 that are in the vehicle. The dash pad's in very nice shape. And this window is not coming up from that switch, but it might. Power locks are working. The left rear door is actuating a little bit slow. The wipers are sweeping. The radio aerial does not want to go up. It'll go up about 1 inch, and probably if somebody grabbed onto it and sprayed it with a little lube juice, that problem might resolve itself. Radio comes on. The emergency flashers are working. We checked all the headlights and taillights from outside, and they seem to be working. Turn signals are working on the inside. I didn't check them from the outside yet. I can't get the washer switch to work. This horn, that's can you hear that? Kind of like a flute. All right, well, the power seat motors, 4-way switches, are working good on the driver's side. This one, the transmission, making that seat go backwards, isn't, it's making a little bit of noise. Blower motor's working. That rear window will go up. We'll run it from its back position here. Seals are all in pretty good shape. Bottoms of the doors all look pretty nice. Most of the skin lips resemble that. Michelin tires, older XH4 radials, and they're showing about 930 seconds of tread as an average. Around the body we have a few small paint touch-ups, hairline scratch there, a little group of touch-ups right here in that driver's door. The reflective quality seems pretty nice. Little spot of shrinkage right there. That might be difficult to see on the video. We've got still photos around the vehicle, of course. Doing an inspection for a client considering purchasing the vehicle. If that's the kind of service you are looking into, give us a call, 800-301-3886. The bezels and the grille are really in nice shape. Very little patina to speak of on the chrome bumpers, front or rear. Marker lights are in nice shape. These bumper ends have been repainted. Up close you can see some marks. This hood, I'm guessing, was repainted at one point in time. There's a little bit of a splurge there. There's just a slight and subtle color differentiation between the hood and the top of that fender. A little bit of filler work there, cracking on both sides underneath the A-pillar. Not horrible. And you can see these belt moldings didn't come off. A little bit of overspray on the edge I can get off with my nail. Those moldings are getting a little stiff. Windshield is a very well survived triplex unit. A few small little stone splatters, but no real rock chips to speak of. Nothing to be too concerned about. I think that ticking underneath the hood is the air conditioning compressor. I was working with trying to get that on earlier. We've got a paint doodle there. It's a little bit of metallic hazing, gathering, contamination, a little combination of stuff going on. But as a good-looking 5 to 10 foot driver, it is. Digitally speaking, the car had great read. There's 10, there's 7.5. It read pretty much that way all the way around. Little filler noted right here in this right dog leg, but it was not a disastrous amount, and really nothing you wouldn't expect on a big boat of this vintage. A little bit of lacquer checking and cracking here in the paint around above the tail lights, and some touch-ups you can see there, and just some general patina on the bumpers. These might clean up a little nicer if somebody put some effort into them. Little hairline crack there. Let's buzz it around the parking lot. Before I get it down, the air compressor is making a little bit of chicken noise, but you can see the compressor is spinning, so it's trying to work. Original trim tag with paint codes is down here on the hood, as it should be. The oil is in pretty good shape. It's going to have a quart added. Brake fluid is in good shape. Transmission fluid is nice and pink, and it smells good. Very stock looking underneath the hood. Antifreeze is good and clean. You can smell a little bit of that oil dripping onto the exhaust that I was telling you about. Original riveted tags, you can actually see some of that that oil burn off coming up. Interior hood pads are still in place. There's a little bit of an anomaly on top of this fender, just some splotchiness that I don't know if that could come out. A little bit of crow's feet, kind of some lacquer checking right here in this valley. But pretty good looking paint. I think with a strong day's worth of detailing or two, it could come up to a nicer condition. I'm going to run it up and down the alley road here. A little bit of a clunk going into gear, U-joint or something. Daring UPS driver. Seems to shift out pretty smoothly. Takes the bumps nice. I'm going to take my hands off the wheel and apply the brakes. And our brake's nice and straight. First to second. Second to third. Well, at 55, I got my hands off the wheel again and I'm braking, and the car doesn't appear to have any pulling issues. Brakes are nice. Suspension feels good. Getting a little bit of a clunk when I run the wheel back and forth like that. Not sure what that is. Probably a little something suspension related. It's really quiet inside. Odometer seems to be turning. Doing a little quicker stop that time. Just a little bit of play in the suspension. I don't think anything too unusual for 40 plus year old parts. Just about 40-year-old parts actually. Okay, we'll take her back and get one last look over. Turn signals are operating as they should. License plate lights are working. Headlights and bright lights. Quick peek at the back of the car, and it reveals about the same condition. Fairly nice, well-kept condition. The car does not smell like it's been smoked in. Headliner's in good shape. The visors are getting a little fluffy. The material's kind of detaching from the the actual hardboard. That light's still on. Not sure why that's staying on when all the doors are closed, but the other three are not working. I would say, based on what I've seen today, seems to be a good solid driver, good looking paint for the age that it probably is. I don't know again how they're representing this paint. It's some tape lines and some subtle age detected in this paint. A pretty good looking driver in the condition it's in right now. Bright light indicator is working. When I shut the car off and turn the key forward, the generator and oil lights come on as they should. Odometer is turning. Car's charging. Gas gauge appears to be working. The fan controls are working. Had the car running for about 20 minutes now. You see one little drop of oil down there, about quarter size, but nothing else pouring out of the car. Car appears to be maintaining good temp, just under 180. There, I just kicked the compressor off. That sounds a little better. Well, this car could stand to be driven. Some miles on it probably wouldn't hurt it. Jason Phillips from Auto Appraise, 800-301-3886. Just wrapping up an inspection on a 1976 Rolls Royce. Have a great day. Thanks for hanging out and watching. Again, if you need inspection service anywhere in the country, we can accommodate.